The Doomsday Bullies Report, cutting through the hype, one episode at a time. Welcome back, fellow truth seekers, to another hard-hitting episode of the Doomsday Bullies Report. If you caught our last episode, you know we began to unravel the tangled web that Jerry Jones has spun over the Dallas Cowboys. Today we're diving even deeper into how this mastermind has kept us all under his spell for 30 long years. Now let's kick things off by talking about the so-called championship formula. You've probably heard this a million times. Every NFL team supposedly knows it. You need a sharp general manager, a coach who's not just good but great, and a roster built with the grit of a heavyweight boxer. Sounds simple, right? Well, not when Jerry's in charge. You see, Jerry Jones knows all the ingredients for a championship team, but instead of cooking up a title-winning feast, he's been serving us profit pie. It's left a pretty bitter aftertaste. And we're not talking about a little disappointment here. We're talking about 3 decades of frustration, hope, heartbreak, and rinse and repeat cycles that would make a washing machine blush. So how did we get here? When Parcells came on board, there was hope in the air, wasn't there? We all thought, finally, Jerry's going to get it right. However, it seems that Jerry duped us again. The big tuna hiring came at the same time he was trying to get a new stadium built. The tuna was nothing more than bait. And once that stadium broke ground, Jerry was ready to reel him in and toss him back out. And toss him he did. Now let's take a closer look at that whole Bill Parcells situation. Remember when he retired after the 2006 season? Officially, he said he was drained. But let's be real, there was more to that story. Behind the scenes, Jerry was slipping back into his old habits, undermining Parcells' authority at every turn. Parcells was a no-nonsense kind of guy, a coach who believed in structure, discipline, and a strong locker room culture. But Jerry believes in Jerry. The final straw, though, was a doozy, signing Terrell Owens against Parcells' wishes. Now, don't get me wrong, T.O. was a phenomenal talent, a game-changer on the field. But he was also a walking, talking distraction, and Parcells knew that. He knew that Owens' larger-than-life personality could be more of a headache than a help, especially in a locker room that needed stability. Parcells was so fed up that he refused to even call Two by name, referring to him only as the player. Classic tuna. But make no mistake, this was Jerry's show, and anyone trying to steal the spotlight wasn't going to stick around for long. This brings us to the heart of the matter. Jerry Jones doesn't care about winning Super Bowls. Sure, he wants to win, but not in the way you and I do. Jerry's playing a different game altogether, the game of profit. And let's be honest, he's been winning that game for 30 years. Jerry has masterfully kept the Cowboys as the NFL's top cash cow, milking every last drop of relevance out of this team, regardless of what happens on the field. Let's talk a bit about the business side of things, shall we? Think about it. How many teams can go decades without a Super Bowl and still get the most primetime games? Just one, your Dallas Cowboys. They're more talked about than teams that actually win championships. Why? Because Jerry's playing 4D chess while the rest of the league is stuck in checkers. He's created a brand that thrives on controversy, drama, and just enough wins to keep us all coming back for more. Now let's not gloss over this point too quickly. Jerry's business acumen is nothing short of brilliant. He's turned the Cowboys into a global brand, a name recognized in households far beyond the reach of Dallas. You've got people in New York, California, even overseas who are die-hard Cowboys fans. And why? Because Jerry has sold them the dream. He's sold us all the dream. The dream that every year could be the year. And even when it's not, he's sold us on the idea that we're just one player, one coach, one play away from returning to glory. But it's not just the fans that Jerry's played. Oh no, he's worked the media too. You ever notice how the Cowboys are always in the headlines, even when they're not winning? That's no accident. Jerry understands that relevance is just as valuable as rings, if not more so. He knows that controversy sells, that drama gets clicks, and that as long as the Cowboys are being talked about, they're staying in the spotlight. Let's not forget the haters, oh those glorious haters. They're just as crucial to Jerry's plan as the die-hard fans. Every time the Cowboys stumble, the haters cheer, and Jerry, he laughs all the way to the bank. Because whether you love the Cowboys or love to hate them, you're still watching. And in Jerry's world, that's all that matters. But it's not just about the money, is it? It's about control. Jerry loves to be in control, to have his hands in every pot. From the players on the field to the coaches on the sideline, Jerry's influence is everywhere. And that, my friends, is where the problem lies. You see, in the NFL, the most successful franchises are the ones where football decisions are made by football people. But in Dallas, football decisions are made by Jerry Jones, businessman extraordinaire. And that brings us back to us, the fans. Where does that leave us? Trapped in a never-ending cycle of hope and heartbreak. We cling to the past, dreaming of another dynasty, while Jerry pulls the strings, keeping us just close enough to believe, but never close enough to taste victory. It's like we're stuck in the NFL's version of Groundhog Day. Except instead of Bill Murray, we've got Jerry Jones hitting the reset button every season. Now, as much as it pains me to say this, I've got to give credit where credit is due. Jerry Jones has done something truly remarkable. He's made the Cowboys the most valuable franchise in sports without winning a damn thing on the field. Think about that for a second. In a league where success is measured in Super Bowl rings, Jerry has built an empire based on marketing, media manipulation, and yes, just enough on-field success to keep us all coming back for more. So what does the future hold for the Dallas Cowboys? Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Will Jerry finally step back and let someone else take the reins? Will he ever put the team's success on the field above his desire for control and profit? Or are we doomed to repeat this cycle for another 30 years? In upcoming episodes, we're going to dig into how Jerry's decisions have affected his players, and of course, us fans. Spoiler alert, it hasn't been a good look. Maybe, just maybe, it's time for the puppet master to cut the strings and let someone else take the reins. Will Jerry ever change? Probably not. But acknowledging the problem is the first step, right? And hey, we're nothing if not fair. We'll also take a look at the changes made this off-season. You might be surprised, we do give credit when it's due. We stick to the facts no matter where they take us. So keep those eyes wide open, because when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, things are never quite what they seem. If you enjoyed this episode, smash that like button, subscribe, and share it with every Cowboys fan and hater you know. This is the Doomsday Bullies Report, where we're not afraid to call out the puppet master and demand better. Until next time, keep your sense of humor intact and your expectations grounded. Because in the world of the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to need it. How about them Cowboys? You understand me.